What happens after we die? I mean, really, what happens? Is it just lights out, an endless sleep, or is it something else? For thousands of years, that's been the ultimate question. But what if I told you there's a map? What if everything we think we know about death is just scratching the surface? According to one ancient text, it's not some peaceful fade to black. It's not a final judgment from on high. It's the beginning of a journey, a test, really. A test that almost everyone fails, just because they don't know the rules. You see, hidden away for centuries in the Himalayas is a manuscript called the Bardo. You probably know it as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. For a long time, it was considered forbidden knowledge, too intense for the unprepared. And why? Because it lays out, in shocking detail, a step-by-step roadmap of the 49-day trip your consciousness takes after your body dies. Okay, let's dive right in. This isn't some dusty religious text full of prayers. Think of it more like a user manual, a shockingly precise, almost technical instruction guide for the afterlife. It's like Apple suddenly dropped the iPhone Afterlife edition, and this is the manual that comes with it. So today, we're going to walk that path together, from the moment the body shuts down to the final critical choice you have to make. It all starts with the physical body shutting down, and it happens in 4 very specific stages. First, the earth element dissolves into water. You feel this incredible heaviness, like you're being crushed, sinking right through the bed. Then, water dissolves into fire. All the moisture in your body just vanishes. You get this unbearable thirst. After that, fire dissolves into air. The warmth, that life-sustaining heat, it just drains out of you, starting from your feet and hands. And then, the final step, air dissolves into consciousness. Your breathing stops. To the doctors in the room, you're gone. But for you, it's just getting started. Okay, so your body is gone. Now what? Well, the very instant your physical body shuts down, your consciousness has its first and, honestly, its most important experience of the whole journey. You're suddenly face-to-face with this incredibly bright, radiant, all-consuming light. It's not painful, it's just everything. The book calls this the clear light of reality. It's your own true nature, pure consciousness, with no ego, no memories, no name attached. And here's the deal. If you can just recognize that light as yourself and merge with it, the game is over. You've won. Instant liberation. No more rebirth. So why doesn't everybody just do that? Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, it's because your ego completely panics. I mean, think about it. Your entire life, you've been you. This collection of memories and opinions and insecurities. The idea of just dissolving into this light feels like being completely wiped out. So your ego just screams, no way, and you recoil in pure terror, turning your back on the one shot you had at freedom. And just like that, you fall into the intermediate state. Welcome to the Bardo. Now you're in the Bardo. It's a place between lives where your thoughts literally create your reality. This whole trip lasts for 49 days, and it unfolds in stages, and for most of us, it is absolutely terrifying. In the beginning, the visions are, well, they're beautiful. You see these radiant, shining beings, you might call them angels or gods, and they're just emanating total peace and love. But as the days go by, these peaceful figures start to warp. They twist and distort. And then they're replaced by these horrifying, monstrous demons with multiple heads, flaming eyes, and razor-sharp weapons, all roaring at you. Now here is the absolute key to the whole thing, the big secret. Those beings, they aren't real, not in the way you think. They're not angels coming to save you or demons coming to judge you. They are you. The beautiful, peaceful gods are the parts of your own consciousness, your wisdom, your compassion, that you never recognized in yourself. And those terrifying, wrathful demons? Yep, that's every ounce of fear, every bit of anger, and all the guilt you ever buried deep down inside. It's all just you. If you don't recognize these visions as just your own projections, if you run from them in fear, you get pulled even deeper into the Bardo. And somewhere around the 3rd or 4th week, you get to the next stage, the ultimate life review. The text calls this the Great Mirror of Karma. But listen, this is not like watching a movie of your life. No, you are forced to re-experience every single significant moment, but with a massive twist. You feel the full emotional impact that your actions had on other people. There are no excuses. There's no way to justify what you did. You're not being judged by some outside force. You are judging yourself. Let's make this real. You see that moment in middle school where you made fun of another kid? Only this time you are that kid. You feel his throat tighten up as he tries not to cry. You feel the shame wash over him. And you feel the seed of an insecurity being planted that he will carry with him for his entire life. You feel it all. But it goes both ways, thankfully. You also relive that time you bought a sandwich for a homeless person without a second thought. And now, you are that person. You feel the gnawing hunger, the cold, the feeling of being invisible. And then you feel that warm rush of gratitude, that simple, powerful feeling of being seen, of being reminded that you're still human. So after reliving the total emotional weight of your entire life, you're not a neutral observer anymore. You are totally conditioned by the guilt or the joy you've just experienced. And that powerful emotional state acts like a current, pulling you toward the final stage, the crossroads of rebirth. You see 6 faint, colored lights in the distance. Each one is a doorway to a different realm of rebirth. And your dominant emotion from your past life acts like a magnet. If your life was driven by pride, you're pulled toward the dim white light of the gods. If you were consumed by endless greed, the red light of the hungry ghosts calls to you. If your defining trait was anger, the murky black light of the hell realm just sucks you right in. So here's the thing. You don't really choose consciously. You're just drawn in. As you get closer to one of the lights, you see a vision of a man and a woman together, your future parents. You feel a sudden, powerful flash of desire or jealousy. And in that one instant, you're sucked into a fertilized egg. And poof, everything is gone. Your past life, your journey through the Bardo, your true nature, all of it, wiped clean. The hard drive is formatted and the whole cycle starts all over again. What a story, right? It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel. But is there any reason to believe it? Well, let's see how this 1,200-year-old map lines up with what modern science is just starting to figure out. For the last 50 years or so, doctors have been studying thousands of near-death experiences. And what they've found across all cultures is that the stories are eerily similar to the Bardo. People report leaving their bodies, traveling through a tunnel of light, meeting beings made of light, and having a full life review. You've got famous cases like Pam Reynolds, who described her own complex brain surgery with incredible accuracy while she was clinically dead with zero brain activity. That just shouldn't be possible if the brain is what creates consciousness. This leads to a wild theory. What if the brain doesn't create consciousness at all? What if it's more like a radio receiver? A radio doesn't create the music, it just picks up the broadcast signal that's already in the air. So if you smash the radio, the music doesn't stop, right? You just can't hear it anymore. If the brain is just a receiver, then when it dies, maybe consciousness just keeps on broadcasting on a different frequency. And this is where things get really crazy, because this is where modern physics starts to sound an awful lot like ancient mysticism. Max Planck, the guy who basically founded quantum physics, said this: I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. I mean, come on. The idea that consciousness comes first is exactly what these ancient texts have been telling us for more than 1,000 years. So, okay, why does any of this matter to you and me right now? Because here's the biggest takeaway. This ancient map was never meant for the dead. It was meant for the living. The entire Bardo journey is basically a dream, and the content of that dream is determined by how you live your life right now. Every single time you bottle up your anger, you're literally building one of those demons you're going to meet later, piece by piece. Every time you obsess over things you can't control, you're forging the chains that will pull you right back into another life. Here's the bottom line. Death doesn't magically transform you into some enlightened being. If you live your life on autopilot, you will go through the Bardo on autopilot. The real test, the real practice, it's not happening after you die. It's happening right now, in this moment. This ancient text isn't just a map of what comes next. It's a mirror for your life, right now. And it leaves us with one final, urgent question. Are you paying attention?